into a seated position. You're going to sit towards the front end of your mat. I'm just going to move my mat back ever so slightly. And you're going to have your knees bent and get yourself into a position where you don't feel that you are pinching in the hips. You can take your feet a wider apart if you need to. And by the way, you don't have to have your toes down. If you feel that your toes have to lift up a little bit, that's fine. Just make sure that the heels of your feet are grounded. And you're going to hook your hands onto the front of your knees. Use your arms so that you can sit up as high as possible. And we're just going to inhale to let the shoulders lift up towards the ears. And exhale to glide the shoulders down. And imagine a string lifting you through the crown of your head. And again, inhale, lifting tall. Exhale, feel like your sit bones are grounding you. One more time, taking a breath in, you can lift the shoulders. Exhale, glide the shoulders down, and then just pause here for a moment. On your next breath out, under and start rolling the lower back, the mid back, the upper back, and just always feel that you're hanging off your knees with your hands. And remember, if your toes come up, no big deal. Take a breath in, and then exhale, pull with your elbows, lift yourself up, and lengthen through your crown. Take another inhale. Exhale, draw the tailbone. Feel the abdominal wall flattening. Take a little breath in, stretch. And then exhale, curl forward, pull with your arms, lift up tall. One more time. Exhale, draw the tailbone under. So you can still feel the articulation of your spine starting from the lower end of your back. Take a breath, relax neck, and then exhale, bend your elbows, pull yourself forward, and lift up nice and tall. Both arms reach forward with the palms down. You inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, draw the tail under, and see how far back can you go now that you're not holding on with your hands. Inhale, and breathe. Forward you come, and lift up tall. Last two. Draw the tail under, and feel the flattening of your abdominals pulling away from your thighs. And draw forward, lift up. Last one. Exhale, draw the tail under. Pause in here just for a moment. Can you pick up one hand? Breathe in. Exhale to bring the hand down and flatten the abdominals. How about the other arm? Try to keep your feet down and lower. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, breathe in. Exhale. Hold. Take your hands just behind your thighs. Lower yourself all the way down. And just let your spine settle to the ground. Bring your hands beside you, bring closer towards those bum cheeks. Make any adjustments you need, and we're ready to pelvic curl. Breathe out as you tilt your hips, rolling up into a bridge position. And remember in this top position here that you don't want your lower back taking the weight load. Abs connected, lifting from the base of the bum. And then roll down through the spine, feeling that imprint into the lower back, and release. Make any adjustments to your body position you need. Exhale, tilting hips, rolling up, finding that lovely lift from the base of the pelvis. And then as you come down through the spine, carefully and deliberately place each vertebra to the floor. And release. And we're going to take just one more time. Again, we are articulating the spine, but obviously our body position has changed, so it's going to feel very different on the muscles. But still, as you roll up and down, can you feel each section of your spine releasing one at a time and release. Bringing both hands up to the sky. Turn your palm to face and start scissoring the arms. Taking one arm overhead and one arm forward. Coordinate the movement of your arms. Make sure that you don't let your arms touch or rest on the ground. Keeping a gentle connection around the joint itself. And start to notice the gliding action of your scapula on the back of your body. Nice and soft for the shoulders. Last one. Bring both hands straight up and you hold it here. Interlock your fingers. Place your hands under your head for support and resting your head down. Take a moment to lengthen the spine. Your elbows are floating in your periphery and your lower back is in a happy place. Nod your chin. Breathe out, sliding your ribs towards your pelvis to bring head and shoulders forward. And then releasing the rib cage to take yourself back. And again, breathing out, slide the ribs forward. And releasing back. And let's take 3 more. The whole time that you are working the upper attachments of the abdominals, your pelvis and your lower back are stabilizing but not bracing. Don't go rigid. Curl forward and now hold it here. Do a little rotation to the right. And then come back to the center. A little rotation to the left. Come back to the center. And let's just do a few more side to side. Go at your own pace, but see if you can keep your elbows periphery, so you're not swinging the arms, and see if you can really feel the connection of your rib cage rolling across. One more. Come to the center, don't move, and lower head and shoulders all the way down. Take a moment to let your elbows push back. Get a little stretch across your shoulders. Maybe your ribs need to lift up a little bit to stretch the abs. And then slide your hands out and place your hands just on your 2 pelvic bones here. Imagine that you have glue underneath your feet. You're going to take a breath in, stabilize, breathe out as you try to pick up your right leg. But your foot is glued to the floor, remember? Are you able to activate the hip flexor, load the abdominals, and stabilize the pelvis? Then let your right foot go heavy to the ground again. Take another breath. And now the left leg, you try to pick it up, but remember that your foot is glued to the floor. All you're doing is finding your deep connections to the hip flexor and your core, and then releasing that leg down. Let's do the left leg one more time. Sorry, right leg. Try to pick up the right leg and releasing it down. One more time. Try to pick up the left leg. Releasing it down. Bring your hands down beside you. This time, no pelvic curl. We are going to press the pelvis up. On your next breath, pressing from the base of the pelvis as you hinge your hips up, and then releasing from the base of the pelvis as you hinge the hips down. So there's no articulation of the spine. And again, pushing into the feet, taking the hips up, and then releasing the pelvis down with control. Maintain stability through your center. 2 more times. Pressing into the feet. So you might notice that there's more work in the legs now, in the back of the legs. And hinging down. Last time. And hinging the hips up. And hinging the hips all the way down, and just let your pelvis settle there for a moment. Hands come up to the sky, turn the palms to face each other. This time, open your arms wide. Breathing in and breathing out as your arms come up again. And again, inhale. Exhale. Bringing your hands just in line with your shoulders when they come up. 2 more. Energy to the fingertips. And breathe. 1 more time. Energy through fingertips, expand. And exhale and lift. Interlock your fingers. Placing your hands underneath your head again. Elbows in your periphery. On your breath. Slide the rib cage forward and we stay lifted this time. Stabilize across your pelvis and on your breath out, try to pick up the right leg, but your foot is glued to the ground. Can you feel how it intensifies the connection to your core? And then allow your right foot to go heavy. Stay lifted through the shoulders. Now try to pick up the left leg, but your foot is glued to the ground. Feel how the pelvic floor, the lower abs, the hip flexors engage. Releasing the foot down, stay where you are, and then lower head and shoulders, and releasing all the way down. We're going to add on to that now. Nod your chin. Breathe out as you slide the ribs forward, and you stay. Now, take a breath in and exhale. Try to pick up the right leg. Hold it there. Now that you've got the connection, pick up the right leg and hold it in the air. Keep your legs still and lower your head and shoulders down towards the ground again. Keep your leg where it is. Exhale, chest lift, sliding the ribs forward. Stay where you are. Now let's do a little rotation over to the right and back to the middle. Again, same side, over to the right. Can you keep your legs stable as you turn your rib cage? And come center. We're going to do 1 more time, so we've done 4. Come back to the center, don't move. Gracefully place the foot down and lower head and shoulders back. And then just let your elbows pop to the side. Let your ribs flare up, give yourself a little release, and then close the ribs, and the elbows are in your periphery. We go again. Nod your chin. Slide head and shoulders forward, come up into your chest lift. Don't move. You try to pick up the left leg, but your foot is glued. Take another breath, and now float that left leg up, and you already have your connections. And then lower head and shoulders back down. Nod your chin. Exhale, slide the ribs forward. Now don't let your leg move. Let's do a little twist towards the left. And come back to center. Little twist. Keep it controlled so that your lower body doesn't move. 1 more time, little twist. Come back to center, hold it, gracefully place your foot down and lower head and shoulders. And then press the elbows back and just giving yourself a little bit of a release. And slide your hands out and place them beside you, palms down or palms up, that doesn't matter. We're going to roll the hips up to the sky. Exhale as you tilt the pelvis. Articulate through the spine as you come up. Find a connection into the lower bum cheeks, so where the hamstrings attach, and then bend your elbows to point your fingertips to the sky. Start standing on your right leg, and then keeping the pelvis level, can you pick up the left knee and hold it in the air? And we're going to hinge the hips halfway down, and press the hips back up again. Hinge down and press up. Hinge down, press up. Feel the right gluteus maximus firing up there. We've got 3 more, so we're doing 8 in total. Good. Keep sliding closed. 1 more time. Press up and hold it. Now gracefully place that foot down. Don't let it drop. Keeping your pelvis level. Start standing on the left leg. And when you're ready, pick up the right knee. Double check that you haven't dropped or rolled the hips. Let your hips come halfway down and squeeze up. And again, lower and lift. Good. Keep it going. Take your mental focus to the muscle that is working. We want to wake up gluteus maximus and the hamstrings. We don't really want the lower back to take over. We're almost there. Pressing into the foot one more time. Hold it there, gracefully placing the right foot down. Stay where you are. Reach the hands up overhead. Turn the palms to face each other. And now place your spine to the ground, one vertebra at a time. Feeling the imprint. And then allowing the pelvis to settle at the bottom. We scissor the arms, taking the right arm back. One more time, we scissor the arms. Stay there and do a windmill movement around your body to switch to the other side. And then we scissor 2, scissor 1, and now we windmill the arms around and switch sides. And we go scissor, scissor, and windmill around. Scissor, scissor, and windmill around. 2 more times, and we go. Nice, easy windmill. Last time, scissor, scissor, windmill all the way around. Bring both hands up to the sky. Interlock the fingers. Hands go underneath the head for support. And once again, just give yourself a little bit of an adjustment, a little traction stretch. Get your lower back into a happy place and then stabilize your pelvis. Your elbows are floating. On your breath, come up into a chest lift position. And you hold. Bringing the right knee to tabletop, stabilize. Bringing the left leg to join it, stabilize. Stretching the right leg forward, and we switch. And we switch. Focus on keeping your lower back secure. Focus on flattening the abdominal wall. One more time. Bend both knees, squeeze together. Lower head and shoulders down without collapsing the legs. Take a breath, nod the chin. Exhale, chest lift, curling head and shoulders forward. Let's do a little twist towards the right with the rib cage. Keep the legs still. Come through the center to the other side. And we alternate. Keep lifted through the head and shoulders. There's no pulling action on the head. You are supporting. 2 more. Squeeze the inner thighs. 1 more. Come back to the center. Hold it. Lower head and shoulders all the way down. Placing one foot to the ground. Placing the other foot to the ground. Press the elbows back and just stretching the front of the body here for a moment. Slide your hands out and placing the arms down behind you. Your feet into a little V position. So your heels of your feet are touching. The toes are out, but you want to make sure that your whole foot is flat on the ground. So all 10 toes are connected. Diamond shape with your knees. We're going to press the pelvis up. On your breath, lifting from the base of your pelvis as you press upwards. Now stay there for a moment. Make sure that your knees are okay. So you want to feel that there's an external rotation at the top of the thigh bone here as the heels glue together. And then hinge your hips back down again. And again, pressing the pelvis up, feeling the external rotation of the shoulder, so not the shoulders, the hips, And then hinging the hips back down. We're going to do 3 more. And press. Notice the gluteals working for you. And hinge down. Last 2, press up. And down. Last 1. And press. And releasing all the way down. Now close the knees and bring the big toes together to touch so your legs are together. Bringing both hands up towards the sky. Turn the palms to face each other and then interlock your hands up above your chest. Don't let them come too far overhead. Start rolling one shoulder off the ground and then rolling to the other side. So you're almost going to feel like you're drawing a line on the ceiling with your fists going from side to side. So the elbows aren't bending. The movement has to come from the thoracic spine, allowing the ribs and the shoulders to come along for the ride. Let's just do a few more. You're feeling that lovely massage across your upper back, yeah? And then come back to the center and then relax the head and shoulders. Place your hands under your head one more time here. Elbows floating where you can see them. On your breath, nod chin. Curl head and shoulders forward and we stay here. Now, squeeze the legs together and can you lift both legs at the same time? Hold it there. And on your breath, you lower both legs. Secure your lower back. And again, lift both legs and lower both legs. One more time. Lift both legs, stay there. Now lower your head and shoulders down and just take a 1 second break here. On your breath, lift head and shoulders forward and you stay. Now stretch your legs as straight as you can and then bend your knees. Secure your lower back, stay lifted. And again, extend. And bend. One more time. Extend. Now keep your legs there and lower head and shoulders down with control. Take a break whenever you need. Nod your chin. Exhale. Curl head and shoulders forward. And now take one leg towards the floor and one leg towards your face. Don't let the bottom leg rest. And we switch. And we switch. And we switch. 2 more. 1 more. Lift up, hold it. Bend your knees. Put your feet to the ground without losing your lower ab connection. And then lower head and shoulders and all the way down you come. Just slide your hands out. Bring your hands into a low V position with the palms of your hands facing up. Pick up your right thigh, cross it over the left thigh, rolling both your legs towards the right as you turn and look over your left shoulder. And then breathe out as you pull back to the center using abdominals. Now your legs the other way. So when you roll your legs to the left, you're going to look over the right. Notice what a different stretch it is, because you might feel a little bit more of a pull down the side of the hip or down the side of the leg. And exhale, draw back. Use your arms and shoulders to anchor you. One more time to the right. Turn and look. Exhale, back to the center. Last time, over towards the left. Find your stretch, only as far as you want to go, yeah? And then exhale, draw back to the center and you hold. Bring both knees up into your chest, put your hands on your knees, and then figure out what you need to do to get a stretch into that right deep bum, into that proformis muscle. Staying here just for another second, breathing in and out. And then on your next breath, release, placing your feet down, uncross, squeeze knees together, squeeze feet together, palms facing up. Left thigh comes over, rolling your knees over towards the left, look over the right shoulder, and exhale, narrow the waist and draw closed. Rolling your legs to the right, feel that additional stretch because of the weight of the top leg, and breathe out, back to the center you come. Taking legs to the left, look to the right, and breathe. One more time. Stay nice and open across the chest. Exhale, back to the center, and we hold. Bring both knees up towards the chest, and once again, just find your placement and your positioning so that you get a stretch into that left piriformis. Try and keep the head and shoulders as relaxed as possible. Here for just a few breaths in and out. And then on your next breath, release. This time you can just uncross your legs and hug both of them in towards your chest. Now, bring your thighs just a little bit away from you. Let your knees open slightly, and then cross your right ankle on top of the left ankle. So you're almost finding there's a little sort of push up with the left foot and push down with the right foot. Secure your lower back, bringing your hands just underneath your head for a little bit of support, elbows floating. And on your breath, curling head and shoulders forward, and you stay in a chest lift. You're going to let your feet slide a little bit away from you, not too far, and then you're going to bring your thighs in, and you're going to see if now you can actually curl your tail up and release it down. Slide your legs a little bit away, bringing the knees in, and curl. One more time. Slide a little bit away, bring it in, stay lifted through the shoulders, curl the tail, and release, lower head and shoulders, and stay here for just a second. Switch your legs, so you now have the right foot pushing up and the left foot pushing down. Secure yourself. On your breath, curl head and shoulders forward, and stay here. Slide your legs a little away, bend the knees, and then curl. Slide away. Make sure that you are breathing all your words. I don't care when you inhale or when you exhale, just breathe. Come center, lower head and shoulders, uncross the legs, squeeze them together, and then with control, placing both feet down, lower abs, lower abs, lower abs, lower abs, lower abs, and settle to the ground. Bring your hands out, place them beside you, separate your knees and just, we're going to be doing one more pelvic curl here. So on your breath, a little bit of a tilt of the hips. Coming up into your bridge position, please make any adjustments that you need. You can either keep the arms out or you can bend them. Stand on your right foot and pick up your left leg. Extend your leg up and then flex your top foot so that there's no cramping. Bring that leg down until it's in line with the right leg, and then lift the leg up again. Line it up and lift. Two more, line it up and lift. One more, line it up And lift, point your toe and place your foot down. Stabilize. Standing on the left leg, bringing the right knee up, extend, flex the top foot, and now with control, this is about precision. It's very easy to swing the leg up and down. Do you know where to stop? Do you have the ability to stop in the right place? Connecting into your awareness of your body and space. And hold, point your toe, bend the knee, placing your foot down. You can set the feet and then roll down through the spine. Take your time. Be aware of every single vertebra having an opportunity to release. Stretching one leg out long. Stretch the other leg out long. Reach your arms all the way back overhead for a good morning stretch. Make a little croissant to one side. Make a little croissant to the other side. And come back to the center. Roll onto your right side, exactly as you are. Make a little pillow with your underneath arm, or you can use a cushion. And today we're going to see if we can straighten the legs all the way out. So if your hip is uncomfortable on the floor, either give yourself a little bit of padding or do a little bit of turnout with your legs. So long line, ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, ear. Lift your gaze, pull your shoulders away from the ears, and firm up the underneath oblique. Gluing the legs together. Exhale as you lift both legs. Feel the shortening on the top oblique, and then release down. And again. It does not have to be a huge lift. It needs to be a focused lift. Keep reaching through the crown of your head and reaching your feet away from you to create as much space for your body as possible. You can use your hand at the back of your neck to give your neck a little massage to find out that helps you. Or if your neck is really sore, then you can turn your head to look down. Let's just take one more time. Now lift both legs up and stay there. You're going to take the bottom leg down and squeeze it up. So as you move the bottom leg down and up, bring your mental awareness to your top inner thigh. That's where those muscles connect. So don't even worry about your feet touching. If your feet touch, that's wonderful. Bring your awareness to the top inner thigh. So if we took a walnut and we put it at the top of your legs, I want you to think that you're going to crack the nut every single time you lift your leg. Reach through your crown and reach through your feet. One more time. Lift up now, hold it. And now can you balance? Lifting the arm up. Balance. If you're good there, how about taking the arm overhead? Reach through fingertips, reach through toes. And then as you bring your arm back up again, maybe you can even lift your leg a little higher. And then gracefully place the fingertips and the toes down. Now, do a little bit of ballet dancer's turnout. So it's external rotation from the top of the hips. You're going to keep your fingertips on the floor for balance. And you're going to bend your top knee, so that's your left leg. And just bring your toe up towards your knee. Do you still have the underneath oblique lifted? And then you're going to bring your knee a little bit towards your shoulder, just a little bit, so your foot's going to come up. And then we're going to see if we can stretch the leg. And then we're going to start bringing that leg down, but I want you to keep increasing that external rotation from the hip. Bend the knee. Lift the knee. Straighten the knee. And then we wrap, we wrap, we wrap, we wrap. We bend the knee. Lift. If your feet are cramping, then feel free to flex, by the way. So find what works for you. 2 more. So we're going to make ballet dancers out of all of us, hey? And release, nice jewels. And one more time, bend the knee. Remember the bottom oblique, guys. Don't let your torso collapse. And bring it all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And then just the leg parallel and bring your knees up towards your chest. Take your top arm, that's your left arm, and reach it forward. We're going to do thoracic rotation. Lift your arm up. And then just look up at your hand for a second. And then open up the arm, open up across the chest, getting thoracic rotation. And then if your lower back needs it, you can slide the hips and the knees back. I'm not going to force you to keep the legs level. Do what you need so that your back feels good. Maybe you need to bring your knees up a little higher to your chest. Take one more breath in and out to the stretch. And then start lifting your arm. Let your shoulders, your rib cage, your hips, and your knees come all the way back to the center. And now you're going to press yourself up. And as we have been doing, you're going to see if you can balance. So you can keep your feet off the ground as you come into a seated position. And then tuck yourself into a little ball shape. Stay here, maybe closing eyes. Just find your balance. And then open your eyes. And now let your feet come over towards the right. So now you're going to be lying on your left hip. Make a little pillow. Stretch your legs all the way out long. And then just check your setup. Lift your eye line, shoulders down, bottom oblique connected, and you have that straight line down the side of your body. Both legs are going to lift up. And a little release. And again. Little release. As much as possible, you're trying to keep the fingertips light on the ground. The hands are there for balance as opposed to pushing into the floor, right? You can turn your head if you need to release your neck, or you can use your fingers to give yourself a little pressure point release at the back. And let's just take 2 more. And feeling the connection onto the top right oblique here. How does it feel in comparison to the first side? On this last one, lift your legs up and just stay here. Your bottom leg goes down and squeezes up. Lower and squeeze. Beautiful. And lower. Remember that walnut? We want to take the walnut to the top of the inner thighs and sit at the top. See if you can crack the nut. Give yourself space. Reach through your crown and reach through your feet. Last 2. Last 1. Squeeze up and hold it. And if you want to, you can test your balance. If that's feeling good, you can reach the arm over. Keep breathing. Lift arm. See if you can lift your leg just a little bit higher. And releasing all the way down. Good. So now go into that ballet dancer's turnout. A little bit of external rotation. Remember to give yourself padding underneath your hip if you need. Bend the right knee so you're pulling your toe towards your knee. And then lift your knee up towards your shoulder, but don't let your bottom oblique collapse. And then extend the top leg as high as you can. And then lower the leg down, but you want to increase your turnout if you can. Bend the knee. Lift the knee. Straighten the knee. And then lower the leg down. And I highly recommend breathing. Whatever breathing feels good for you. So this in ballet, by the way, is called développé. And then lower down. And remember that you can flex your ankle if there's any cramping in your feet or in your calf muscles. You're welcome to flex your foot like that if you want to. Yeah? One more time. and lift. Stretch, keep the bottom oblique connected, no collapsing, and then down you go with control. Roll the legs into parallel and then bend your knees up as if you are sitting in your chair. Top arm reaches forward. Lift that right arm up, look up at your hand, and then open up across the chest as you reach all the way back. And just settle into your stretch. Figure out if you need to slide the hips or knees. Taking one more breath in and out. And then lift your arm, roll the chest, your shoulder, your hips and your legs all the way to the front again. Good. Flip onto your stomach now. And you're going to put your left hand underneath your head. You can either use a towel or a strap to hold on, or you can reach back to either hold on to your pants or your ankle or your foot as we come into our hip flexor and quadricep stretch. So remember that you don't want your lower back to take strain or your knee. Once you have settled into a place that feels okay for you, see if you can tighten up your bum cheeks a little bit so that you're really intensifying the hip stretch. And if you're super duper flexible, maybe you want to lift your thigh off the ground a little bit. Staying here for just a few seconds to breathe. And then on your next breath, releasing the foot and the ankle, stretching it back, and we switch slowly to the other side. And again, the one side might be tighter than the other. So just take your time finding your placement. And then doing a little bit of a squeeze with the bum. Maybe you're going to lift the thigh up slightly. Keep breathing. And then on your next breath, releasing the leg and taking it all the way back. So just rock your hips a little bit from side to side. And then you're going to separate the legs just to hip distance. Put your hands next to your shoulders with the elbows bent. Get your elbows on the floor as well. And just hover the tip of your nose. So without going anywhere, think of lengthening your breastbone away from the heels of your feet. So you've created space and you have a connection to your pelvis and your center. Start by lifting up into a little baby cobra. Pause there for a moment. And then see if you can squeeze your thigh muscles so that your knees are straight. And hover your legs off the ground. It's not a high lift. We're just finding the back line of the body. And then see if you can hover your arms off the ground. So now there is no support through the upper body. You can feel the back muscles engaging, but you're still lengthening. And then bring everything down at the same time. Arms, legs, and hover the tip of your nose. And we go again. Lifting gaze, lifting chest, baby cobra first. Squeeze your thigh muscles. Lifting your legs up, hover your arms, and just stay for a breath in and out. And then everything comes down. And we're going to do that again. We're adding on. Lifting up into a baby cobra. If your lower back is hurting, then don't come up so high. Squeezing your thighs, lift your legs, just find a connection to the bum cheeks. Hover your arms up off the ground and now stay here. Now send both arms forward, reaching through the fingertips, and then bend your elbows and bring them back again. When you reach your arms forward, allow your scapula to glide on your ribs behind you. Don't think that you've got to keep the scapula still. As they come forward, there's a muscle underneath the armpit there called the serratus anterior that is going to start working a little bit. One more time, reach and bend the elbows. Pause for a moment Lower everything down and relax. Hook your elbows up to the sky and then push up onto your hands, onto your knees, and then just coming into a 4-point kneeling position right here. So you want to be able to get your wrists in a comfortable position. Same with your knees. Let's go into a cat stretch. Start rounding your spine, feeling your belly lift, pushing out of the arms, and then lengthen the spine. And you can either come to neutral or you can come to extension where you lift your eye line and your tail. And again, curl the tail under, feeling that lift of the belly. And then lengthen the tail, reaching out through the heart. One more time, rounding the spine. Stay here for a moment, tucking your toes under. We're going to lift the knees just up off the ground, but you are staying in a rounded spine position. Feel the lift of the belly, pushing out of your hands, keeping your chin tucked in and your tail tucked under. Taking one more breath in and out. And then lower the knees, release the feet, and letting your spine lengthen all the way to neutral. Slide your right leg back. Bring your left fingertips forward and stay here for a moment. Level out the shoulders and hips. And then on your breath, lift the arm and the leg and lower them down. Lift the arm and the leg and lower them down. Taking 2 more. Find the coordination. So it's opposite arm to opposite leg. 1 more. And then bring everything back in underneath you. Slide the left leg back. Walk the right fingertips forward. And now opposite arm leg. And lower. Lift. And lower. 2 more. Finding the cross patterning, finding the coordination and the connection to center, and bringing arm and leg all the way back in. Balance on your right hand, left hand reaches to the side as we come into a lovely thread the needle position. Just taking a moment to get the weight off your arms, getting a release between the shoulder blades, and then decide what you want to do with the right hand today. Maybe bring it forward, maybe place it into your lower back. See what feels best for you to find your release. And then slide that right hand back in. And coming all the way up, reach the left hand to the side. Demonstrate control. And then placing the left hand down. Right hand extends to the side. Coming into thread the needle. Placing shoulder, placing head. And then, would you like to move the left hand on the side? Feel it out. Connecting into your breath. Bringing your left hand back under your shoulder. Reach out, extend the right arm to the side, and then bringing your hand underneath you. You might need to come a little bit forward on your mat because we're going to be going into a plank position. Taking your hands just a little bit wider than your shoulders. Extend the right leg back and tuck the toes under on the floor. And then pushing into the hands and into the back foot as you extend the left leg out, and you should automatically pop into that long straight line of your body. Let your knees hinge to the ground, let them lightly touch, and then lift them up again. Hinge the knees to the ground, let them lightly touch, lift them up. One more time. Hinge the knees down, stay there, and relax the toes out behind you. With a straight spine, start moving your body weight backwards, so your arms are straight and you're pushing away from the hands a bit. And then hinge your body forward until your shoulders are above your hands again. And again, press back. So all we're doing here is waking up the latissimus dorsi muscle in the upper body. Hinge forward. Those of you that have been doing classes with me for the past week, you know this one. And then hinge forward and hold it here. You're going to bend your elbows and slowly, slowly bring your entire body all the way down to the mat. And then stretch both arms all the way out overhead. That cross patterning that we did on all fours, we're going to bring it into a swimming action now. So arms are overhead. Take them wide if you need to. Have your legs slightly apart. Create space. And on your breath, just lift your chest into a little baby cobra. Squeeze your thigh muscles straight. And then lift your legs just off the ground. Hover your arms just off the ground. Find the back line of your body. Pick up your right arm and your left leg. And then switch. Right leg, left arm. Switch. It is small. It is controlled. You can feel that your pelvis is stable on the ground as you coordinate your arm movements. You can make it slow. You can speed it up. You can change the breathing. You can make it a bigger movement if you want to. Taking just a few more rounds, find your cross pattern. And then stop. Hold yourself in the air like Superwoman and Superman flying, and then bring everything down. Bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under, and with control, push up onto your hands and knees. Bringing your knees underneath you, bring your big toes together, sit back, and coming into a resting position. So just allow your hips and your head to settle wherever feels good for you. Make sure that your knees are okay, and put your arms wherever you need so that you can release out the wrists and the hands. Taking just a few breaths in and out. And then spread your fingers out. Pull yourself up onto all fours, and then make any adjustments you need so that you find your alignment. You're going to tuck your toes under, and we're going to send our hips up and back into a downward facing dog. And you're just going to pedal the heels down towards the floor one at a time. Send the heels down towards the ground. One more stretch. And now, pick up your right leg and lift it up as high as you can. You can let your hips twist. So you want to almost imagine that you're doing a standing split, and then bring that leg all the way down, coming into your downward dog. And now, pick up your left leg as high as you can. Let your hips open and rotate if they need to. And then bringing that leg all the way down again. And you're going to bend your knees a little bit and start walking your feet forward. Just until you can get your feet underneath your hips. And then start bringing your hands back. You can come onto the tips of your fingers. And then just hang there. Give your head a little shake. Nod your head a little bit. And now keeping your fingertips on the ground, let's just bend the knees. And then straighten your leg as much as you can so you can start to feel a little bit of a stretch along the hamstring. And again, bending the knees. And lifting your hips up, get as much of a stretch as possible. One more time, bend the knees. Lifting your hips up and stretch, stretch, stretch. Bend your knees. And then roll up into standing. Pressing into the feet evenly. Coming all the way up. Take your time so you don't have a massive head rush. And then roll your shoulders back and around a few times. And then feel free to stay as you are. I'm just going to turn so that I'm facing towards the camera. And separate your feet so that you feel nice and stable. And then with your eyes closed, just rock gently from side to side. And all that abdominal work and the gluteal work that we did at the beginning of class, allow yourself to connect into those muscles as you sway side to side. Come and stand evenly over the right and the left feet. Pause here for a moment as you just allow all your movements to integrate. Feel the ripple of all the work that you did through your muscles, through your joints, your connective tissue. And as we go into our last roll down, I invite you to keep your eyes closed. If you prefer to open them, that's absolutely fine. Take your time as you just allow your head to tip forward. Feeling the curve of your upper back. Feel the weight of your arms and the weight of your crown. And then continue rolling forward, so maybe you feel a release into the lower back. And perhaps you're going to fold over from the hips and come all the way to the floor. You're going to stop yourself at any point that you feel that it's the right place for you. When you reach your bottom position, you pause. Observe yourself. Take a nice easy breath in. Breathe out and use that exhale to travel back up into standing. Just let your body settle. And slowly blink your eyes open, rolling the shoulders back and around. Wonderful. Fantastic. Some nice ab work.
Oh,
Feel strong. You're very, very welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me come and turn on the volume.
Jeez.
Hey. Cool.